as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Put your life together.
You notice that quote. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Oh, yeah, you damn right. It's me. It's a fantasy football hustler. We're bringing you FNT. And I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Bogard Scott free.
The two-time back-to-back circle champion.
Hold on, wait. What did you say? What's your name?
I said the two.
No, what your name is.
My bad. I think you were in the Matrix there. The two-time back-to-back circle champion.
Yeah. You know which one brought that on? I was on Instagram a little earlier, and I saw The Rock. He was on like that NBA on TNT show talking to Chuck and Big Shaq Daddy. And Shaq was like, hold on. When does that air again? And he started saying, he's like, it doesn't matter when it goes on the air.
Yes.
He got him.
Awesome.
The Rock was dying laughing. Like he couldn't stop. That's so hilarious.
Listen, man, I would imagine like The Rock would be in a restaurant. He'd be like, hi, yes, welcome to, Fancy Pants Restaurant, whatever this is called, right? Yes, would you like to hear the specials today? Yeah, sure, I'd like to hear the specials. Well, it doesn't matter what the specials are.
I mean, if I was the one taking him in, like if I was the host or whatever, just at the front desk, like, oh, what's the name on the reservation? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. Like, every chance.
Just get The Rock. Hey, I bet you he'll fight a motherfucker.
I mean, he probably loves it, man. Like something that you came up with fucking 25 years ago at this point or something like that. Like people still want to zing you, because it's just that much a part of pop culture.
I'd imagine for like Lil Jon, people when they see him, they still yell like, okay.
What?
yeah. And that's not even because of his career. It was because Chappelle did it.
Yeah, because like, what was that? That was just on like one of. Well, I mean, I know he's done it.
That was his thing on all his records. That was
because I remember that one song. We're gonna get to some news here real quick, guys. Don't worry. Shout out to everyone in the chat.
He said we got a lot to cover. Let's not get off the rails.
I know we're getting off the rails in the beginning, so we could get right back on. I remember that skit was so funny when Chappelle was talking about it because Lil Jon was still new, and I'm on the West Coast, so I didn't know who. Barely knew who he was.
Well,
and he's like, this motherfucker. They act like they're going to rap the whole time, and they're just sitting there going, what? Okay. And then it's like they never get around to rapping in the song.
I mean, like, because during that time, too, it was like the early days of, like, choreographed dancing in the South, like the snap and lean music, like lean with it music. And obviously it was, because they went hand in hand with drinking, lean with, promethazine with codeine for those that don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I mean, we had a decent exposure to Lil Jon out here in the West because Too Short was real instrumental in them, getting over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
and the crunk and hyphy, like, it's not the same thing. It's different coasts, but same kind of vibe. You're just drinking, you're getting fucked up, you're going wild.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, crunk was funny though, because like, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't be like anything but a black person saying that and not sound like corny.
Yeah, for sure. What up, Zeb? Hey, and you said you want to get in on the squares, just shoot me a DM. We still got some in the 650 sheet. And what up, Antonio? What up, David? What up, Ronald? Dion in the building. What up?
What's happening?
Oh shit! And he said, "I'm watching Dirty Grandpa. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Funny as fuck." I mean, Bad Grandpa was funny as hell. So I'm curious how much farther they take it. Johnny Knoxville.
Like, it's hella, yeah. Well, he's just doing it. It's just hella different skits, right? It's not an actual scripted joint.
Maybe some parts are. For Bad Grandpa, there was a handful of parts that were like scripted.
Like, there was one from Jackass 3 where I don't know if it was 3 or 2, which one of the movies, but where you know, he's asking someone to help him bury his dead wife. You know what I mean? The dude is like, you know, helps him dig the hole, and then like, helps. He's like, come on, there. He brings the wheelbarrow out, and it has the body. I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but it was just like he damn near went through the whole thing with him.
They're savages, man. Like, yeah, you just gotta. I mean, number 2 was probably the craziest one. Number 1 was just hilarious, like the random off the wall shit that they were doing. Like
which one's the one where he put his dick in the sock, and then he put this? It was like a sock puppet, and then he
got bit by a fucking snake. Oh man, I think that was number 2. I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
Man, those guys are savages. Yeah, I want to see number 4. And me and 2 of my friends who were like addicted to Jackass way back in the day, we bought tickets to the Steve-O show. He's going on tour, and it's like at the end of the month.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still. I've seen, not live, but I've seen one of his.
Nice.
Seen one of his joints. This is probably like 6 or 7 years ago, but like he literally like the way he finished the show was like he had a table. And then there was like a higher table, or like the stage. Yeah, he was on the stage, and then there was a table off the stage, and they lit the table on fire, and he did like a somersault into the table and like broke the table. Like, but yeah, it's like
Steve-O's fucking crazy. Like, for anyone who hasn't seen like his first like DVDs that he came out with, I mean, he just really didn't want to get a job. And that's what it was. And he just found out that he could inflict a lot of pain on himself and like be okay with it.
He had a sister, because apparently this dude, like, I mean, they moved. His dad was like a big wig at like Nabisco or something like that.
Some shit like that, yeah.
So he moved around a lot, and then even at one point he was going to high school in like Europe. You know what I mean? And so he's been arrested all over the place. But to make a long story longer, his sister was like, you're a fucking clown. Like, you think you could just clown around and think you're gonna make it in life, and like he literally went to clown university after that. Like fuck it, I'm gonna join the circus then.
And he got hired. He was in it. He was doing his thing, and pretty much the whole. Because I've been diving down the Steve-O podcast because he's the man.
Yeah,
I heard one of his stories where the reason why he stopped being a clown is because all the other clowns were like, if Steve-O is back next year, we all quit.
Man, he was probably fucking with everybody. He was probably gonna be the guy that like wouldn't catch you on the little, the swinging things.
Yeah, oh man, that'd be fucked up.
He over there hanging on by his knees, and he just and just laugh. Several people fell to their death.
And damn it, Antonio. Okay, so Dirty Grandpa is a comedy with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron. All right. I'm gonna have to go check that out.
You know what's funny?
Is it out in theaters right now? I mean, as soon as it hits digitally, I could get it on the Amazon Fire Stick. We just need to hit digitally somewhere.
There was a couple years. I know which one he's talking about now. That's been out for a cool minute. That's been out for like some years now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But what was it? I've still never seen it though. But I do remember that trailer.
And Ronald said, so this is staying on topic. We're just getting it all out of the way right now. Hey, how about we help out Zeb and his dynasty question? Then we'll get on topic. Michael Pittman and 2 second-round picks for Justin Jefferson. Dynasty, I would get Jefferson. I mean, this seems it seems like a lot, but
okay, how about this?
If there's no IDP, if this is just a 1 QB dynasty, those second rounds are kind of meh. Anyways, it's really just all about the first round pick. So that's why I would do it.
All right, look, I'm doing that because is it Kevin O'Connell? I can't remember the guy's name, but it's something O'Connell. But he's been the OC. He's been the OC for McVay this past season, and he was also a QC. And like a OC assistant, shit like that, right? But he's going to be the head coach for the Vikings. And if there's any kind of emphasis in my emphasis, that's the word, on, how they targeted their number one in LA this year. And, hey, listen, for what it's worth, people don't realize that Corky Kirk, he throws for 4th wow all of the time, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, you know what I'm saying? So Jefferson could be like a fucking 1,600-yard receiver yet next year easily. You know what I mean?
Antonio said I'd do that before he changes his mind. Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, a guy like Jefferson, I mean, if we're talking about a brand new startup draft, I mean, he's a top 5 wide receiver, getting drafted. So that's probably the cheapest you're ever going to be able to get him right there.
I would do it and not even be afraid of, like, maybe this is the only last year with Cousins and we got to worry about the quarterback situation moving forward. I'm trying to win now.
Yeah.
And fuck those second-round picks. You know what I mean?
If
you still got to hit with them.
And like I said, if
fuck Michael Pittman.
If it's non-IDP, if it's one QB, second-round picks mean nothing. Like, it's just, I mean, it's fluff. It's fluff at that point because all the best picks are going to be gone by like number 9 or number 10 in the first round anyways. Then it's just a bunch of guys who you're kind of picking just because you like and you hope they'll pan out. All right, here we go. So we got a handful of things to talk about. Why don't we talk about the Jaguars real quick, because I know we're not going to stay on there too long. So they locked in their OC, Press Taylor, and then they locked in their DC, Mike Caldwell. You know anything about either one of them?
I do know. I was going to say, tell me what you know about the OC, because I didn't see that yet, so I haven't, and I'm not aware of that name. But I do know their DC. He's a linebackers coach for the last couple seasons with Todd Bowles.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? I do like that because the lineage he's coming from, you know what I mean? And, it makes me feel like the linebackers over there, like, obviously, Miles Jack and Josh Allen and goddamn, he was a rookie breakout lightweight, Damian Williams last year for the Jags. They're in safe hands.
Yeah.
In this case, but I don't know about the OC. What you got?
So the OC, so he was with what's his name, Peterson, the whole time, like with Philly. Okay. I don't know what year Peterson got there, but Taylor has been there since 2013, and pretty much once they got rid of that regime, then he went to the Colts for 1 year, maybe with the Carson Wentz or something. Maybe that's why they brought him over.
The way it worked out was Chip Kelly's, after his staff, when Chip Kelly got fired from the Eagles, a lot of his staff was kept on when they brought in Peterson.
Okay.
In 2016. So that's probably, there's the correlation there. Because he's probably, like you said, this guy's been with the Eagles since 2013.
And he's had weird ass, like, I mean, I'm just looking at all of his like titles, like along the way, like his title within the company, like what kind of coach is he? In the beginning, so before Peterson got there, offensive quality control coach is what he was.
So, okay, I really started looking into what a QC is. QC is like everything, bro, for the offensive coordinator or the head coach assistant. Like,
so it's like assistant offensive coordinator. Is that like
it's quality control, QC? Like, just you are handling everything that you need to handle. So Sean McVay back in Washington when Kyle Shanahan was the OC. So before Sean McVay became the tight ends coach, he was the QC. And they really, like, he needed Sean McVay to do everything. I'm talking about, like, if it was a rainy game, Sean McVay would have to go and take the play sheets and laminate them. You know what I mean? Because so
you're a glorified gopher, but I bet it makes
but check this out. It's not just like, make sure this laminate shit like that. It's also like during the game, he's one of the eyes up there in the box.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, how many yards a game? How many yards did we gain on that one? Little things that, hey, what do you guys see on that? What was the coverage look like? You know what I mean?
The devil is in the details, and Sean McVay is a detailed motherfucker.
Yeah, and what's funny is Kyle Shanahan has hella stories about how when it would be LaFleur and McVay, and he'd be like, "All right, guys, 30-second timeout. What did you guys see?" And they're arguing on the coverage. It was Chris, man.
Because Because McVay has a photographic memory. Like shit, I don't know if you saw that TikTok or that Instagram shit where someone's like back in 2013 or whatever. Like it was this play and like what happened, and then he said the exact play in NFL terms, like not just like it was.
You know who's like that too? I mean, any good coach is like that, but Aaron Rodgers as a player, like he'll be like, yeah, it was week 3, 2009, and we were playing against the so-and-so. It was the 3rd and long, and you know what I mean? Like he'll remember. It's
crazy because wrestlers are like that too. Like anytime you talk about a date or something, they'll remember exactly where the fuck they were and what match it was or whatever. Crazy.
I mean, listen, on a smaller scale, like I don't write any lyrics down. When I write, it's all up here. You know what I mean? Like I might spit it out loud here and there. Then when I'm ready, I go in the booth, lay it down. You know what I mean? I might not do a one-take Jake. I might even be like, okay, I'm going to do the first 8. Then I'm going to punch in. Like, you know what I mean? And then I'll remember when I hear the songs forever, I remember that process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what I was doing, what I was drinking. You know what I mean? What I was wearing in the lab that day. You know what I mean? Like what I was going through that made me pissed why I did the song in this fashion, or you know what I mean? Or even like when we're doing fantasy shit. You know what I mean? You know how many times have I brought something, you know what I mean? The photographic memory is a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, I'll bring some shit out the cut. Like, it was week 3. It was fucking 2-minute drill. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so the Jags, so there's some other news, non-football related, but Tony Khan. So he filed with the FEC to run for Congress in Florida's 4th congressional district. So he's trying to be affiliated with the Jags, affiliated with AEW, and then go out and run for Congress at the same time.
He had a couple drinks with the body Ventura. You know what I mean? Jesse Ventura was like, hey, you can get into politics. All you gotta do.
I bet the people that he asked were probably like, if I wish I would have did it earlier or when I was younger or some shit.
I'll say this though, him being a minority, like this is the day and age where you can get fake support.
Yeah.
And it could propel you. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw an episode of South Park. I didn't really watch that shit in a minute, but they were talking about the origin of Token's name, that it was actually like the L is silent, but he's named after the author of Lord of the Rings, right? and it's funny because Stan, he just can't believe that everybody knew it. Did you know Token's name is not Token, it's Tolkien? Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, did you know he's named after the author of Lord of the Rings? Yeah, you didn't know that? And he's like, he's the only one, but he doesn't want to admit that. Well, I thought, you're named Token because you're the token black guy. You're the one black guy. You know what I mean? But I'm saying it's just funny because South Park finds ways to poke fun at that. And listen, that's how Khan can get into office for real.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. He's gonna get like motherfuckers that don't want to vote for the white guy will just vote for him. All you know what I mean? Just I like this minority. We need to color it up.
Florida's different though. Like Florida's not one of the places where it's a lot like that though.
I mean, but what's the 4th office? Like mayor of what, Jacksonville?
Oh, I mean, it just says the 4th district. So I don't know like what, I mean, I don't know what part of Florida that actually covers. I'm assuming like, Orlando or like around there because that's where he's at.
I mean, Orlando is where everything's at. That's where, because I've actually been to Full Sail. And that's what it's an audio engine. It's a performance arts school, right? But that's also where they have the goddamn NXT at, and then you know what I'm saying? I guess now they have their own shit for AEW, but before that they used to rent that fucking same spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Well, some BS news that we got from the Texans, that they're unlikely to hire a defensive coordinator. They said Lovie Smith will call the plays and it's his defense.
I mean, he's been there.
You think it's going to be just him for like 1 year? Like this might be just like a 1 year, like hump year where it's literally like so much is changing that
it's also
for 2023 already.
Well, Lovie Smith is getting in there and he's doing one of these. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, you know what I mean? Back in the head coaching seat. And he's like, they're like, who's your DC going to be? We have this guy, that guy. He's looking at this. They're all bums. I'm going to do it this year. You know what I mean? And then you never know. He might see a linebackers coach or a D-line coach or a DB coach, one of his position coaches that is like, you know what, man, you're doing your thing, bro. And then next year, because
you know what, Lovie Smith could have a defensive coordinator but still have the title, right? Because like he may get someone right next to him who's like, you know, helping him out with stuff,
basically like a QC.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
No, but and then here's another thing. Here's another thing. It's also a real thing that maybe nobody even wants that job, bro. Like nobody wants to get like, okay, you know, there's only so many coaching jobs, right? 32 head coaching jobs, but there's hella position coaches, you know, then there's double the amount of coordinator jobs, right? As head coaches. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you take the wrong job and you're not successful, that could fuck up your resume. You know what I mean? Right. So it's probably also like, you know, Lovie Smith, how old is he? 63 now. He hasn't been around for a cool minute, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's been a good while. So maybe a lot of his buddies are already been off and retired. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's usually what head coaches do when they come back, you know, out of retirement, so to speak. Like Chucky, you know what I mean? That's why he was only able to bring in like Gunther or Greg Olson as his OC, or you know what I mean, Mike Mayock. Lovie
Smith has been a coach since 1980, not in the NFL.
Yeah,
but like his coaching career started in 1980.
So I mean, I'd imagine a lot of the guys that he trusts. Listen, this is the team. They're in full rebuild mode, and they know it. And that's why Lovie Smith. I bet you when they interviewed Lovie Smith, he said, "Cut the crap. This is my job because no one's gonna take this job." You know what I mean?
And they're like, "All right, you can have the job, but we're not raising your pay."
He's like, "Deal." Maybe that's why he hasn't hired a DC. He's still the DC.
Because they don't want to pay anyone, because then they're going to have to take that from out of the money he's already getting.
Maybe he's getting the 2 checks. He's like, listen, they're not giving me much as a head coach. But also as a DC, I'm getting a double bag here.
You never know. It could be some shit like that.
But see, here's the thing, though. Is like, I think Lovie Smith is not like one of those old curmudgeon, you know, retread hires. Like,
right.
You know, he was a great coach. I mean, he is a great coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he just went back to doing, I mean, he was where was it at? Illinois, head coaching for what, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's kind of cool that he went back to college to get a feel for like the younger generation now, which are more like pansy ass and sensitive. You know what I mean? Because that directly translates to the NFL. So crazy.
Especially with these head coaches too, because if you can't connect with your players, like it doesn't matter. You can't connect with your coaches, like shit doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So we got some news from the Falcons. Well, not really some news, but just Arthur Blank, you know, talking. And he said that they'd love to have Calvin Ridley back in 2022. They have no idea what his future is. They said they're unsure of his future. Ridley's set to earn $11 million this year under his 5th-year option, and he's scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent in 2023. That was part 1. And then part 2 was that he said Matt Ryan, when talking about Matt Ryan, they said no reason to think he won't be our QB. And because of his contract and the dead cap and all that shit, no way they're moving on from him this year. But this year's probably going to be his last year.
Yeah, and they're going to go get like a second-rate QB replacement somewhere in this draft.
I mean, the mock drafts, I mean, they have them taking them with their first pick. I don't think they have a first rounder. I think they have a second rounder.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't have a first round pick.
But all the QBs are kind of whack. So, like, even like the second, you know, but I mean, there might not even be a first round quarterback.
They fucked up not taking Mac Jones and or Justin Fields.
Yeah, instead of taking Pitts. Well, but they wouldn't have been able, unless they were able to move on from Ryan. Like,
okay, if
his contract is so shitty the way that they loaded it, like they can't get rid of him until after this year.
But like, maybe they see what we don't see. Like, he's just killing it in practice. He looks so good. It looks like he never lost a step. Then he gets out there in real game time, and he just looks like he don't got it. Like, that's what I would base it on. You know,
every time though, like we could go to his entire career. When he doesn't have Julio in the lineup, he looks different.
Well, I mean, when he didn't have Julio and he still had Ridley, it was for fantasy purposes, it was straight. Like,
well, yeah.
I think this is the first year. Did he not go over 4,000 this year?
I bet he did.
I mean, he probably did, dude. But like, I mean, like I'm saying, like
Ryan's always had one good year and one bad year, and then you're the one who connected those dots to me.
Yeah,
like,
but
the new systems and all that. So he's
yeah.
shitty the first year with the new system, and then balls out second year in that system.
Oh, hold on, I can hear my son calling. No, but here's where I want to combat that, because it kind of got trumped with the last go around when they brought back what's his name?
Man, he was 32 yards short.
Okay, so
fourth down.
I want to, because he was like religiously a 4,000 yard passer, even in those years, like I say, where like it's like he has the on and off years. Even in those off years, he was still going for fourth down. Wow, you know what I mean?
Does he get a pass that he didn't have Julio or Ridley this entire year?
He had Pitts.
Well, I mean, but does he erase not having Julio and Ridley though?
No, but then I'm gonna find a way to shit on Matt Ryan.
Well, yeah, Matt Ryan. I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's gonna turn 37 this year. I mean, he's been with the Falcons his entire career, and he's always been a good middle of the road fantasy QB. Someone who's between like number 10 and number 18, like religiously.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you have weapons. Plus,
when you have Julio, like that was the thing. Like Julio is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, like first ballot, like no question. He's been spoiled by that.
Yeah, Julio, and see, that's another thing too is Julio. Like when you trade
Julio for like 2 years or some shit.
Like they traded Julio, and that's probably because they didn't have a first round pick, and they're like, all right, let's just try to acquire some shit. I mean, but like Arthur Smith, like that's what sucks. He took. I got your Bible. I'm looking for your Bible, dude. Like Arthur Smith, he takes the head coaching job, and like. It's probably just because it's like, man, there's only 32 of them motherfuckers ever offered. So he grabbed it up because he went into a shit situation.
Yeah.
I bet you, he's thinking like, okay, cool. I signed like a 4-year contract, which probably means he only has 2 years really, right? Yeah. Then he's like, okay, let's go ahead. Man, we need to get a QB in here because this guy's, he's over the hill. And they're like, we want Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. And did they trade up for him there too?
Nah.
Okay.
That's just where they were at. They were an interesting spot because they also could have like traded out, you know what I mean, and traded back a few, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and still.
Yeah, I'm looking at Matt Ryan right now. So his dead cap next year is 15 mil. Mm-hmm. So that's the year that they could cut him if they were gonna, cut off their nose to spite their face. Because shit. Last year he was 67 dead cap. This year he's 40 dead cap. So yeah, that'd be huge. Like you can't just cut him. And no one's gonna want to trade. No one's gonna want to trade for his.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. I can hear the baby waking up. I'll be right back.
All right, we're rumor milling as soon as you come back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just smoke it up and kill a minute or two until Bogard comes back, and then we got 3 rumors that I saw. All involving either QBs or big time players. And you guys remember, don't forget, you guys, I'm having the Super Bowl stream and I'm going to be doing 2 giveaways. So the first giveaway is going to be, we're giving away the Fuck Team Defense shirt, 2 of them. I got them in white. I got them in black. It's the hashtag Fuck Team Defense, like right across the chest. Super dope. That's going to be going to either 2 Patreons or YouTube members. If you're signed up on a subscription anywhere, if you gave super chats over the last like 2 weeks, it went to that. And now we're doing the Brandon Ayukin signed jersey. Oh yeah, check that out right there. And this is strictly for people who are either leaving donations through Cash App, Apple Pay, or Facebook Messenger, or super chats as well. So for every $5 donation that you do through Cash App, Apple Pay, or Facebook Messenger, you get 3 entries into the giveaway. For every $5 super chat that you do, you get 2 entries into the giveaway. And YouTube takes some of the money. That's why you get more entries doing it the other way, by sending Cash App, Apple Pay, or through Facebook Messenger. And all you got to do, just say Brandon Ayuk or throw in a Brandon Ayuk GIF, something like that, and then I'll know what it's going towards. And Yeah, you're gonna be able to get the jersey super cheap as of right now because there's not a lot of entries in. I believe there's only like 3 or 4 entries in. Well, I mean, no, 3 or 4 people entered as of now. So maybe like I believe it's like 10 entries or so that are in. So yeah, you throw $10 down on Cash App or Apple Pay or Facebook Messenger. They get you 6 entries. That's going to get you a big percentage of the entries to start. Oh yeah, and here we go.
So put down your pipe and smoke it.
For this pimp daddy.
Smoke weed every day. You got perfect time. About to start a little
Puff, giving this motherfucker.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me and you. Take advantage, man.
Take advantage, man. You guys hear about the NBA trades that are happening? We're going to talk about these rumors as soon as Bogard gets back. But 76ers making a big time move to get Harden. Traded away Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks. I mean, man, they gave up the farm to get Harden. That was a grip. And Harden hasn't even looked that great this year. And then who else made the trade? Oh, yeah, the Wizards and the Mavs. Wizards getting Kristaps Porzingis. Oh, man, and a second rounder. And then the Mavs received Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Burtons. I have no idea who the hell those are. I know who Kristaps Porzingis is, though. Yeah, and Ronald said we got rid of Simmons. That's all that matters. Bro, they were, they've been trying to get rid of Simmons forever. It's like weird how him and Embiid just couldn't mesh. And JoJo said Sixers are smoking cock. I don't know what the hell. That's a lot to give up, but I know they wanted to get rid of Ben Simmons. And how do you think that helps them, Ronald? Do you think that helps them make a push at anything? I know that they were one of the better teams, at least in the regular season. Yeah, and Antonio said, I like the Harden Embiid duo. Curious to see how that plays out because that sounds like a match made in heaven. They should just be able to, play a lot of give and go. Like between them, we know Harden likes to pass. Embiid's a beast. So, yeah. And Ronald said, yeah, it's weird how a basketball player doesn't shoot. Yeah. Yeah, that's super weird. That is super weird. And Antonio said, I think with Harden, they're the favorites to go to the finals now. I mean, got to be, because I know last year, I'm not following basketball like that much. Too much football shit going on. But, yeah, I remember last year they were one of the better teams, like, in the playoffs. And then, just didn't make it all the way. And, yeah, maybe Harden's a move that actually makes it happen. And Ronald said, makes them better for the next 2 or 3 years, for sure. And after that, Sixers will go into a few bad ones. And Tony said he refuses to learn how to shoot. I don't get that. I don't get that. Even Jordan says, he wasn't the best 3-point shooter, like when he started and then just made it a part of his game to where he just kept shooting. Yeah, that's I don't know what's up with Ben Simmons. He's just been a big bust. Just been a big bust over there. All right, let's get another bowl, and Bogard should be back here real soon.
I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm going to get you high today because it's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Ronald said he won't even shoot 2-pointers, though. No, I know. I was just talking. I was just making, comparison. And so he doesn't have to shoot threes. Yeah, he just needs to shoot, in general. I don't get it. I don't get it. Such a big body and, yeah. Afraid to use all assets of it.
Don't give me that shit about it's a drug. It ain't no motherfucking drug. I done the research. It's just a plant. It just grows like that. And if you should happen to set it on fire, there are some effects.
There are. And Antonio said net stock falling fast. Dude, that is a failed experiment, man. Failed experiment. I wonder how much Steve Nash is making the situation better or worse. Like, I wonder how good of a coach he actually is. KD just looking average in today's NBA. Kyrie, I mean, geez, another story for another day. And Ronald said, well, Harden fits the Sixers way better than the Nets. That's why I didn't get it. Like, he didn't even fit with the Nets. Like, that was, I mean, I know it was Houston just wanted to get rid of him just because, I mean, nothing was going to happen with him anymore. But yeah, that was really dumb. That was really dumb. It was definitely one of just those box office moves. And Simmons can actually not shoot there and be okay. Yeah, they don't need him to be a shooter there. They don't need him to be there. And Kyrie can't play in New York and LA. Oh shit, because of being having to be like fully vaccinated, right? Is that what it is? And the Nets got the better deal, but fuck, I'll take it. I mean, that was a grip to give up, but I mean, Harden could do more for the team than like all of those guys put together. I mean, it's the 2 future firsts. You know, I mean, you gave up. I mean, they didn't even give up too much for now, except for Ben Simmons, which they hated him anyways. Like Seth Curry, I mean, he's a role player. Andre Drummond, I mean, he's a role player. Wasn't even a starter, was he? It's just those 2 first-round picks. Like that was, you know. But they're going to be low picks because they're going to be good. They're going to be good for the next couple years. So. Yeah, in the NBA, it's crazy how it's like, it's really like you're a lottery, you get a lottery pick, or it's just like your pick is trash, like altogether. Yep, Antonio, right there. Yep, first are going to be late picks, so not that bad. And Ronald said Curry is a pretty good extra player. Oh yeah, he's really good, but he's also one of those guys. I mean, came up through the G League and all that. I mean, wasn't even drafted. So I just feel like, you know, there's just not a lot of. You didn't have to pay much to get him. So maybe that's just what it is. It's an extra piece that the Nets were like, nah, you got to come up off that if you want us to come up off of Harden. All right, here we go. You ready? I got three rumors that came across today.
Okay, lay it on me.
We're going to save the best for last. Well, at least the best that you'll want to talk about. So first one that I saw, Russell Wilson potentially going to the Eagles.
Wait, Russell, my bad. I'm still a little matrixy. Russell Wilson, what?
Potentially to the Eagles.
That makes sense.
Fits their style of what they're doing. I know Deshaun Watson, you know, like we heard all the rumors about Deshaun Watson potentially going to the Eagles and stuff like that. So it does make sense.
I mean, because the Eagles, see, you could put the Eagles in damn near every rumor or every name you could attach to them because they got all the picks.
Yeah.
They got 3 first-round picks coming up in this draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like that one. That one's spicy because they got a great offensive line. I mean, they're getting older, but they got a great line. You know what I mean?
And that's always been Wilson's biggest beef. Get me a line. And what do? What's one of the first things they do? They trade away Unger over for Jimmy Graham way back
and then,
in the day.
Of course, you'll go ahead and send off Jalen Hurts, right? Probably in the trade, unless the Seahawks, you know, they draft somebody with one of them picks. But
it seems more likely that Hurts would be in it.
Yeah. So Hurts would probably go in the trade because there's also a lot of like my man Gardner Minshew to Ginsu rumors like that he might be like, you know, one of those guys that fills up, you know, and when musical chairs stop, he's gonna be like getting that last chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and then so like if you was to trade for Russell Wilson, then you just get some regular, you know, veteran a backup. Maybe it's a Flacco again or something like that. And then you could trade, you know, Hurts goes in the Russell Wilson trade, and you get anything you can out of Minshew in a trade. You know what I mean?
And Stu said, fuck that shit. Don't put that shit in the atmosphere. No Watson, no Wilson, no Rodgers in the NFC East.
And look at this. Russell Wilson, I was already putting him with the Giants, but like they don't have the assets. You know what I mean? Outside of like some players, but like why would they just why would Russell Wilson, who has a no trade clause, even want to go there if like part of the deal was like, okay, give me Saquon and so and so and so and so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would. I mean, I don't know why he would want to do some shit like that either. I mean, unless he's going out to New York because he wants that New York endorsement money, which there's just a different level.
I mean, you go to Philly though, you have young Devontae Smith, who are we've seen Russell Wilson have that pretty rainbow throw. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and then so all day down the field to Smith. But then you got Dallas Goedert, bro, who's like all of a sudden going to be overdrafted now in redraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously Miles Sanders becomes interesting, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I like it.
You got a good.
I like that better than the Giants move.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got a really good defense. You know, they made it to the playoffs. Who knows how? You know, it's the NFC though. But yeah. Just something that came across there seemed really interesting. And like you said, because of the draft capital that they got right now and all the picks and shit, Eagles might make a move. If they really don't like Jalen Hurts, this could be the time for them to make a move.
I mean, Jalen Hurts, he had a purpose. His purpose was to somehow light a fire under Wentz's ass. When that went awry, they were still able to trade Wentz away, and then they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna do this Hurts thing. They already had their pick no matter where they ended up in first, right? And then they had the Colts and they had Miami's. You know what I mean? So getting into they're playing with house money. They're still trying to win. They got into the playoffs, you know what I mean?
Yep. All right. Now this gets extra spicy right here. The Bears really want to get Devontae Adams over them, and they're going to target him heavily in free agency.
You know what's crazy is, like, the Packers and the Bears, they do this all the time. You know what I mean?
Because they hate each other so much.
Yeah, and like, the Packers could fuck around and franchise tag Devontae Adams just because of this now. You know what I mean? And just fuck and Devontae Adams was, man, fuck this place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like, now you have all the leverage if you're the Packers. Like, okay, now you want him, you got to trade for him. Give me everything you got. Oh, you don't got nothing.
Well, and Ronald said, why would Adams want to go to the Bears? I mean, Justin Fields, if he's what everyone thinks that he is, and, that's what they think he's going to be, an up-and-coming QB. Got a really solid defense. Then they're rebuilding over there. It's a brand new regime. They just got rid of Nagy's ass. And so, I mean, they're on the up and up, especially what if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back?
Yeah, I think that's what this is based on. Okay, how about this? Remove the name Chicago Bears. Put any team on that instead.
Oh, yeah.
The statement's the same. Everybody's going to actively try to get Devontae Adams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, if I'm Devontae Adams and I'm reading this shit, I'm laughing because I'm like, I ain't going there. You know what I mean? And, of course, if he went there, that would mean Rodgers is not coming back, or there's no Denver where he can go meet him up there, because that's the only possibility. Like, it's not like the Steelers would trade for Rodgers and be like, okay, hey, let's pay Devontae Adams the biggest contract ever for a receiver, right? Only the Broncos are in a position to do that because they have the money. You know what I mean? So if Rodgers doesn't go to the Broncos or he doesn't go back to Green Bay, that's probably the only time he would consider Chicago, because then it would be like, give me the biggest bag you fucking got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is all based on if they didn't franchise tag him.
Right.
Which I'm sure the Packers will.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And Ronald said right there, rebuild, and he wants to go to a contender. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, not all of the contenders got money, too. So, like, if he was to go to a contender, and because Rodgers was there, you know what I mean? Like, but what I guess Tennessee. Say Tennessee fucked around and popped up with Aaron Rodgers somehow. You know, you got Matt LaFleur, he knows Vrabel. Maybe they work it out. Boom, Tannehill gets traded in the inverse part of the trade. And then somehow they got Rodgers there. Maybe I'm pretty sure they could twerk it where they can fucking bring in Devontae Adams and maybe he only gets like a 2-year deal, and it's fully loaded. It's fully guaranteed. Some bullshit like that. They would do shit like that.
Yeah. And Elver says, if you're the Bears, do you trade Mac for a first and a second? I don't think Mac is going to.
Nobody's paying a first and a second.
Nah, he's 30. He's going to turn 31 years old.
He got a fatty contract.
Yeah.
See, that's where
this is the worst part. This is the worst time for teams to trade for someone like that, taking on a huge ass contract.
Yeah, and usually the back end of the contract. This is why whenever big paid players restructure their contract, what are they doing? They're throwing money to the back end. So that way the team that
they're taking more. Well, you're getting more up front when you restructure than you would get or whatever, and then you throw more on the back end. But that's why most players get cut before they make it to the end of their contract.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And in this case, if someone was to trade away Khalil Mack, they probably would want him to restructure his shit.
His cap hit this year is 30 mil. Next year is 28, and the year after that is 26. He's got a fat ass contract.
I mean, I'm of the mindset that like if he's the type of guy that's going to spend the next 2 years in Chicago and then be done with football, that's higher. That's the high likelihood to me. And then if he does get traded, it would be one of those in-season trades where, like, there's like the Rams or some bullshit. You know how they,
they could cut him. They could cut him next year if they really wanted to, 11 mil against the cap. So I mean, that's still a big hit just to like let someone go.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You're
better than the 24 that it would be this year.
And we're getting an extra 23-24 million this year on the cap. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? There is that right there. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! Ronald said they actually tried that at the deadline. Well, I mean, but nobody, no takers.
Hold on, it's squinty-eyed, dumbass Ryan Pace. That's why it couldn't have got done. You know what I mean? That guy sucks, dude. The deals that guy made. I mean, first of all, the Khalil Mack trade. Okay, cool. You did your thing in that trade, right? I think they only gave up 2 firsts.
Something like that. I can't remember.
Maybe it was like a first. It was a first and some other shit. Either way, I thought that trade was decent for them. And then obviously they had to pay him, so they did. But then you get bamboozled by my Niners before that. It's like I've seen, Ryan Pace do dumbass shit, and I've seen him do like semi-brilliant stuff. You know what I mean? But like my Niners bamboozled them. We made them think we wanted Trubisky, and then goddamn made them trade one up. You know what I mean? Because they're right behind us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like Ryan Pace, look at the Allen Robinson thing. How poorly he handled that. Look at how poorly he handled the coaching situation. Like I heard Nagy never ever wanted to give Trubisky a shot. And they got into the playoffs that first year. He was the head coach. If it's not for the double doink, maybe that defense carries them on because they had something going. They had Jordan Howard running his ass off. Long story longer, you know what I mean? The first chance he got, what did he do? He brought in fucking Nick Foles. He's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna keep bringing in motherfuckers that, you know what I mean? Who did he bring in this year? Oh, they drafted. They're like, man, we gotta draft somebody. You feel me? Like. They were just not fucking with even last year. They said we're not picking up your 5th-year option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel bad for the kid. His story, it sucks. Like his story is like that because like man, he definitely wasn't ready for the NFL. But I mean, he definitely did have like he had moldability. You know what I mean?
And David, I know you did say this yesterday. I saw the comment and I laughed at it, but it didn't work into where I read it out. So David took over one of the orphan teams. That we had. And it's not the best. It is not the best. Like he's only got 2 QBs, Tom Brady and Zach Wilson, and it's a hustler league, so it's super flex. And David said, "I told you yesterday I'd trade Bortles for a ham sandwich. I'm hungry."
Right. I mean, shit.
He had all of Green Bay though, like, at least all the Green Bay backups. I mean, because he didn't have Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. If I'm him right now, go do this, bro. Just see if like Mason Rudolph and or Blaine Gabbert, guys like that. I mean, it's a hustle league, so they're probably not out there, but just Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Askins, Gardner Minshew, who did I just say? Blaine Gabbert, just great.
Yeah.
Kyle Trask won't be out there for sure. But you know what I mean?
Well, none of these guys are available, but I bet you can trade them. I bet you can acquire them for cheap.
Yeah. You know what I'm doing? If I want a QB, bro, I'm looking for someone who has a high pick, and like I'll just try to trade him one of my existing running backs or something, because running backs shelf life ain't that long. So I'll just be like, yo, I got so and so for you. You know what I mean? And then they could then just convince them they could try to target a QB since they have a high pick. You know what I mean?
And we can see who are all the I actually have the 101 in this league. I won the championship, but Antonio traded me his pick in last year's draft, and he ended up finishing off with the 101. So I got the 101. Justin Nett's got the 102. I don't know if he traded it away or not. And then Anthony Too Cool's got the number 3. Yeah, and I think that's it that I can see right there. So those are a couple guys that you should be like targeting, you know, maybe targeting their first round draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, and then like when you look at the QB carousel, like you know, like Carolina low key is gonna try. You know, I can see them trying to make a move for one of these free agents, or maybe.
Oh, wait. So yeah, you ready for the? Here we go for the last. All right, so. Where was it? James said, who's the next QB for Tampa Bay next season? So Jimmy G, we already know that his potential of getting traded is very, very high. It's
not very high. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just it's just who, and it's just what we're going to get back. Like
so the leader.
Who are we trading with? Yeah, go ahead.
So the leader, at least that we're hearing as of right now, there's 4 teams that are in the mix.
Let me try to guess.
Go ahead.
Tampa Bay, obviously.
Hold on.
Okay. Give me the Saints.
You already said one of them.
Give me Miami. Yeah, give me Carolina. Yep. Give me Miami. Oh, well, I mean, I guess they have 2. Why would they do that? But I was correlating because Mike Daniels is there. Mike McDaniels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, give me the Texans. Okay, hold on. I got one more. I know you said there's one more team.
There's 2 more teams.
2 more teams.
One of them's a team that we've been talking about all year about getting a new QB.
Oh, the Eagles? Okay. Get a new QB. Oh, the Giants? What?
I mean, I guess there was a few. I mean.
Oh, the Commandos? Okay, that made sense.
And then there's one other one that I might even be a little bit more obvious. Well, maybe not.
Denver?
Close.
Oh, the Raiders.
Opposite. You got way colder. The Steelers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I thought, man, I should have been said that. I knew that was one of the ones.
Yeah. That was the one that we've been talking about all year.
Yeah.
They were going to get a new one, new QB.
Yeah, it's funny, though, because all those places that you named, okay, so let me
just go down it again. The Bucks, Washington, Panthers, Steelers.
Okay, so those 4 teams, those teams could go. They just need a QB.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what makes Jimmy interesting. Because if this is a team that's trying to rebuild, like Jimmy's not like, even for us, I believe it when we say we want him to be happy where he goes. So we're looking at these spots that can, and it's funny because Tampa Bay is probably the one that he would be like, yeah, send me there. You know what I mean? Because he already has, they're going to view it like, they implicated a lot of the stuff that Tom Brady used to do. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're just going to correlate it even just with that. Just, you know what I mean? We had Tom Brady, now let's have Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like, people are just going to correlate it like that anyway. But I think the Steelers one, getting him out of conference, not like anyone should be super afraid of Jimmy. Maybe that'd even be better. They're like, keep him in conference because we know all his weaknesses. We know, you feel me? Like, but I
mean,
like
trading him to the Bucks or the Panthers. Totally getting them. Away from the West. Anyways. 3 of these teams, 3 out of the 4 are NFC teams. So either way, I don't think they're too worried about Jimmy. We know what he is and you know what he isn't, and he isn't a gunslinger. So it's really just him game managing.
Probably Carolina, they got a higher pick. And we're going to want something immediate. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Maybe we even, maybe we.
What do you think about? Give me just. From a 49ers standpoint,
they got Stephon Gilmore over there. I'd take him in the trade.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give up Stephon Gilmore. They just traded for him.
Well, they traded for him. And the trade happens right after their rookie cornerback gets hurt, goes down for the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they were
for him before he could even play. Like he was there like 3 or 4 weeks before he could even play.
Yeah. Well, he was there for like 2 weeks before he got on the field.
Your version is probably better. I can't remember, but yeah. I remember he sat for a few weeks though.
Yeah, because he still.
And Reynolds said if they get a second rounder, they're lucky. Because I don't think I think it'd have to be a player.
He's the Super Bowl QB.
Hey, not a Super Bowl winning QB.
Hey, he's been there. I
bet you that they have a picture of them, like when they're talking, whether it's in person, whether it's over Zoom. I bet they have a picture or something that they flash up there on the screen, and they do it just like you said.
Jimmy, and they're like, they started talking about he's 4-2 he's 4-3 in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
That sounds shitty.
And they're like, he has an award-winning smile. All these, you know what I mean? He's a hell of a locker room guy. He's banging porn stars, and they're like, yeah, he's talking about Jimmy, isn't he? And they're like, I come out here and open the door up, and then walks in Jimmy's like,
And Ronald said they couldn't even get a third round for Foles. They had to pay him a $2 million cut fee.
Hold on, whatever you get for Foles, you came up. You know what I mean?
He's saying they didn't get anything for him.
Let's see.
He said they had to
get rid of him. What? Foles might have sold his soul to the devil to get that one. You know what I mean?
The hype on Jimmy is real. Like, that's what it is. The hype on Jimmy is real, that he came from the Patriots. Like, everything that happened, he was better than Tom Brady.
You got to sell on recency bias, too.
Yeah, he made it to the Super Bowl and made it within one game of the Super Bowl over how long has he been there? 4 years or 3 years?
He came there mid-17, so and then he got injured like by week 4 in 18. So I'd say, he had the 5 games, 17, 4, 9. He's played about 19, 20, and 21. He's played 2 full seasons, and then you can combine the third season from 17, 18, and 20. Because he tore his shit. Or he pretty much missed most of 2020 also.
Yep. Yeah, if they get a second or third and a role player. Yeah. That's what I feel like. It's probably going to be something like that. Like, it's definitely not going to be a first rounder. And if it's a second rounder, it's probably going to be a low second rounder.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. Here's another thing, too. If I'm trading to a quote-unquote contender and they're already a good team, you know what I'm finna do? I'm going to be like, I want that first-round pick. Because they probably going to trade out that bitch anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the real thing. Like, if I'm trading with Tampa Bay, I'm like, hey, I want that first-round pick. It's the back of the first round. Let me get that.
No one's giving up a first rounder for Jimmy, though.
Hey,
unless they're getting more. Is Jimmy by himself worth a first rounder? Like, I don't know.
I'm saying if it's the back of the first round, and the team's a contender, And that's why they have one of the back of the first round picks because they got.
I mean, if they did that, I bet it wouldn't be just straight up Jimmy for the first. I bet the Niners would be giving back a pick or something like that.
Hey,
but
let's do it. Well, hey, we need it all. We don't got no picks. We got what number?
I mean, I know you don't have any first rounders, but you don't have any second rounders either.
I know we got a few.
Yeah, Ronald said it was a small miracle that that Wentz got the conditional first. Yeah.
I mean, but see here's the genius for Howie Roseman. There was a stipulation. You know what I'm saying? There was a stipulation. You remember that? It was like he has to play X amount percentage of the season, or you don't get a first round.
Yep.
And like he almost like him actually playing. I mean, no, him getting hurt almost screwed the Eagles again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, and he came back for the first game, so that was kind of cool. You know, at least for them, they knew he wasn't going to mess it up on the wrong foot, so to speak, in his broken foot.
Is that right, Fat Cat?
But all right, just wanted to get in some of those rumor mills, and
I like that Russell Wilson one. I like it when I heard something for the first time on this show because I never heard that one until now.
There we go. I got my ears to the streets. I got a few people trying to find up stuff, find whatever they can on social media and in all these articles out there. So yeah, tomorrow is the last day for FMTV weekday show. So make sure you guys tune in. We don't really have anything planned, but I'm sure it'll be a fun one. But tonight, The Circle, it happening, going live in about an hour from now. Bogey, why don't you tell them about that?
I don't know who you're talking to right now. Who is this Just Bogey? You mean back-to-back two-time champion of The Circle Bogey? The crotch. Below the belt. Below the navel. Crushing the navel. Crushing the army. Crushing the disciples. Crushing the Legion of Doom. Crushing them all. I want to get some beer. I have like a small window of time to grab some brew before the show starts.
Yeah, I'm get some food here in the meantime. But yeah, make sure you guys tune into that. Going live in about an hour. JC Money Show is starting real soon.
Who do we got on the circle today?
We got Bogey in the house. We got Tylo Brandt in the house, the Fantasy Tyrant. We got JC Money in the house. We got TD. We got Spencer the Guru. Peacock should be in the building as well. And then Taco Vega should be in the building as well.
Yes. We're going to have a good old battle royal. I love it.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be awesome.
For sure.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll see you guys there. It's in about an hour. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.